Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Monday live stream. What a day it has been. And it really does come down to just one post. This is from Donald J. Trump, the President of the United States. And he put this out roughly 45 minutes ago or somewhere around there. Let me read it to you for those of you who are just listening in and not watching. He states, "Congratulations to everyone. It has been fully agreed by and between Israel and Iran that there will be a complete and total ceasefire in approximately 6 hours from now." So I don't know what's going to happen in the next 6 hours, but it's looking pretty good. When Israel and Iran have wound down and completed their in-progress final missions. For 12 hours, at which point the war will be considered ended. Officially, Iran will start the ceasefire. Iran will start the ceasefire. And upon the 12th hour, Israel will start the ceasefire. And upon the 24th hour, an official end to the 12-day war. 12-day war will be saluted by the world. During each ceasefire, the other side will remain peaceful and respectful. That's interesting. During each ceasefire, the other side will remain peaceful and respectful in the assumption that everything works as it should, which it will. I congratulate both countries, Israel and Iran, on having the stamina, courage, and intelligence to end what should be called the 12-day war. That's catchy. This is a war that could have gone on for years and destroy the entire Middle East, but it didn't and never will. God bless Israel, God bless Iran, God bless the Middle East, God bless the United States of America, and God bless the world. How did we get here? What happened? So let's do a little quick timeline. First of all, I would just like to direct everybody to a nice little show I was on today. It was called DCA Live. I don't know if you know or heard about it, but in the good old days, it used to be me, James, and Invest Answers, and George from Cryptos Are Us. George got tired, and then Ben came in from the Cryptoverse. Then Ben's audience and James's audience didn't mesh too well, so we had to split that up. And then today I was asked to go back on. It was a great conversation, me, James, and Marty, and we talked about a lot of different things. So I linked that in the description. It was some good energy. Everybody should check it out, about what's going on in the markets. It's funny, about 8 hours ago or so. So again, how did we get here? Well, first of all, the price of Bitcoin and altcoins are doing quite well. I mean, we're at 105,000. So if you bought the dip when it went below 99,000, congratulations. Again, I just don't see Bitcoin failing here. And you have the backing of the President of the United States, the entire United States government itself, and not just Bitcoin, digital assets as well. You have the push for MicroStrategy and different corporations to put on the balance sheet. You have sovereign nations coming in buying Bitcoin. You have ETFs hitting all-time highs and just moving forward. I just don't see Bitcoin losing. And especially as we see these types of, we were on the brink of World War III, dependent on who you believe. And Bitcoin held up quite well. So it's very nice. But this morning, it was weird because we took a look at the futures market, the S&P 500, and after the strikes, which there was 3 strikes by Iran on 3 U.S. bases around the region, 1 in Qatar. And it's still, the futures market opened up pretty soft. There was no big drop-offs, not a big deal. S&P 500 actually went up throughout the day. And an interesting one, which is what, I don't know if it was Goldman Sachs, Barron's, or somebody, the prediction was once Iran shuts down the strait and we don't have the oil production, we're going to see a massive increase in the price of crude oil. And it actually, in the beginning morning hours, it started to drop. Somebody knew something before this all happened. Because if they would have just gone by the information that the normies get, oil prices would have gone up. That means that there will be an increase in inflation. Increase in inflation, Jerome Powell comes out and starts to raise rates because inflation is going up. And we need to raise those rates to combat the inflation of energy levels. That's not what's happening here. And we've seen quite a bit of decrease. And then on top of that, which would be more strange, different news outlets were reporting that the bases that were struck, there were no casualties and there were no injuries, which was a pretty big thing, no injuries. Why? Why did that happen? It's because Iran came out and told Qatar and told the region, we are going to strike against these bases at this time on this day. This is reporting by Wall Street Journal and a couple other different organizations. Whether that be true or not, I'm not for sure. But some people had brought it to my attention that these bases were cleared out weeks ago. Something's going on. it doesn't really matter in the long run, but I had to take a look through Grok and say, is this totally accurate? Were these bases depleted weeks ago? And it states, and all this information was compiled, you're welcome to read it. I'll link in the description. But it says the consensus is this: the most consistent information suggests that the U.S. began evacuating aircraft and possibly non-essential personnel from ROTH Air Base in Qatar a few days ago. Not weeks, but days, which makes sense, right? We did actually wipe out 3 of the uranium enrichment plants, so it would be a pretty good idea to get those out of there. Likely 3 to 7 days before June 23rd, as part of a force protection measure in anticipation of Iranian retaliation. Which brings us to this ceasefire. And all throughout the day, it's been looking pretty good. I mean, even Trump comes out and says, hey, congratulations, world, it's time for peace. That was 2 hours ago. I'd like to thank the highly respondent Emir of Qatar. In addition, no Americans being killed or wounded. Very importantly, there have also been no Qataris killed or wounded. And then Trump talks about how it was a weak response by Iran. But it is interesting. Is this just a way to save face and say that they did something, just like as this happened in 2020? Not for sure. All I can be sure is this: I have a sphere of control, and I can only control the thing within it. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I can just tell you what's happening right now, and this is what's happening. Bitcoin is going up. Things are looking very good for it. The altcoins are doing extremely well as well. Over 24 hours, Ethereum is up 8%, XRP 7%, BNB 4%, Solana up almost 10%, 3.8%. And you can read, I don't need to read this to you. I mean, those who aren't. Squeeze up 15%. Hey, you got a big fat bag of that. That'd be great. And this is great in 24 hours, but I want to remind everybody, you're not out of the woods yet. See, I can't come here and give you a bunch of hopium. What it comes down to also is this, is that don't forget that in 7 days, you're still down. We're still down if we were buying over 7 days ago. And of course, you can play the game of, well, Rob, just go back 14 days or 30 days or 10 years. Obviously, right? I'm just kind of giving you perspective. This road keeps going on. The investors that just stick around and hodl and just take their time are the winners in this case. Like I said before, and I'll say it many times, you make more by doing less. And it's true. Just stick around with me. I think you're gonna like where we're gonna go. Ethereum over 7 days, even though it's pumped 8, is down still 9%. XRP down 6, BNB 2, Solana 7.8, and so on and so forth. Do I think we can't see all-time highs coming up? I'm not saying that. I think we can. I just say that's where we're at right now. Anyhow, let me know what you think in the comments section, and then we'll finish this up with a little good news also. ECD Automotive secures a $500 million equity facility to fund a Bitcoin treasury. And actually, if you go to, there's a great website called Bitcoin Treasuries, 91, now 92 companies holding Bitcoin on their balance sheet. You can see that, well, like a American work. We just keep growing. We just keep growing with the companies that are buying and putting Bitcoin on their balance sheet. Now, again, altcoins is a whole different story. I still own altcoins. I still invest in some, but you know which ones I'm talking about. Just take a look at the stablecoin rails. But this is just more good news for Bitcoin. And again, I think the companies that put this on there are going to be compensated quite well as time moves on. And that's it for today. I just want to go over a little quick session about what's going on. And lastly, I will say I'm extremely hopeful for the future. I mean, it is amazing how fast this war broke out, this skirmish, this act of aggression, whatever people want to call it, and just how quickly it was resolved so far. Now, does that mean there's a ceasefire that has been called upon by the president? Does that mean the documentation has been sealed, signed, and delivered? I don't think that's actually true. Could things go back on it? It could. But I like the direction of where things are going. I'm not a big fan of war and people getting slaughtered and killed for no particular reason. So I'm happy this is going on. Anyhow, that's it for today. So if you like today's video, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. And we talk about is time sensitive. Again, watch that video with DCA Live. It's pretty good. Pretty fun times. But that's it for that. Now let's get into a little Q&A, answer all your questions to the best of my abilities. And we'll go from there. Andrew says, Rob, could you touch on the subject of where to best take some profits in May? Well, it would have been good been really good to, sell in May and go away, right? Looking for suggestions for a good place to hold until next bear market lows. Thanks, Andrew. Oh, so Andrew, if you actually had bought and sold in May, congratulations. Maybe you should run a YouTube channel. But good job for you. I'm happy for you. I mean, you took some profits. You did the hard thing. You probably accumulated in the bear market when everybody told you that you were a moron. And then, of course, you look who's crazy now. So for me, I think it's all up to what you want to do and what your particular position is. Like, Andrew, I don't know if you're 20 or if you're 60. I don't know if you own any kind of real estate or if you just don't really want to deal with the hassle, just want to travel the world. I don't know what that is, but for me, I think one of the safest places to put my money is not in the bank, obviously. I hate looking at my dollars in the bank. I get a report from USAA because I was in the military, and it says, you have this much. Okay, and I look at that money, I'm like, God dang it, what is that doing for me? It's just melting there because there's inflation going on. And I just have to think about it, like what really suits me the best. For me, I mean, I buy gold. I don't buy silver. Maybe I should. But I put a hefty amount into Bitcoin. And beforehand, I was doing more real estate. I've since backed off, and I'm not dealing any more real estate deals or land, short-term, long-term, doesn't matter. I'm just going heavy into Bitcoin and some alts that I think are going to do well. So for me, that's how it works. But for you, Andrew, I'm sorry, my man, I can't answer that question. But one thing is for sure, is that when I look at the dollars in my bank account, it gets me irked that it's not working for me. That's all I can tell you. Let's see. Yeah, so nice to see the boys back in town. Ben was missed, though. Ben's a busy guy. Ben's in demand. Ben's doing interviews all over the place. Everybody wants a piece of the Bitcoin dominance guy, right? Irreversible Places, Ben and James had a major argument. Who was better, Batman or Superman? I think that was the catalyst for what broke us all apart. Yes, the Batman, Superman. Hello. Hey, Days. Later live stream. Good morning from Western Australia. Good day. It's my best Australian impression. Hey, what's going on with Australia and capital gains? I heard a rumor that you guys are looking to get taxed on unrealized cap gains. Is that gone? It can't have gone through. It's the dumbest thing I've heard of. But if it is, Days, let me know in the comment section. It seems crazy. If we have a ceasefire today, what we have tomorrow, I think it's all whatever missions are winding down in the background, peaceful, as they say, as Trump was talking about, within 12 to 24 hours. Maybe everybody draws back, de-escalation. Maybe they regroup their forces and put them where they're supposed to be. I'm not for sure. That's what I would do. But we'll see what happens tomorrow, if this actually sticks or not. I gotta tell you, this is quite a difference than, say, Russia, Ukraine, Israel, and Iran. It's just interesting. That's all. Hey, Soul. Rubbing his hands together. They were evacuated days ago. It's true. You were up late. I just farted. You shouldn't have. I got a coin for you. It's called Fort Coin. It's going to go to the moon, and then it's going to rug pull you, and it's going to be wrecked. Who knows? Maybe it's going to be the next Ethereum. I don't know. Yeah, busy day for Rob. Busy. Then I had to go over, fix some plumbing on one of the houses. And yeah, I got to tell you, I'm over there fixing some outdoor plumbing on one of our rentals. And I'm just thinking to myself, I don't have to do any of this with Bitcoin. I don't have to run the lines in a certain way and shut off the valves and make sure everything's connected correctly with Bitcoin when I'm, fixing these things. I'm like, damn, I should have just bought Bitcoin. Nav says, wait for it tonight. You'll be surprised. We'll see. Yeah. Zero Hedge sharing posts from around that there are no peace talks. Bud, yeah, maybe. Zero Hedge has got a pretty good reporting sense from what I've seen. I've followed him for years, so we'll see. Let's see. Again, circle of control. I don't really know. Yeah. Now, if we could only find common ground for Ukraine and Russia. It's true. Meme is here. Silly me put in a limit order is just a bit too low and miss more Bitcoin and SWI. Yeah. Meme, come on. Actually, it's not a bad idea. I mean, honestly, if World War III was going to come, at least we could, get a little bit of return on investment on that. It sucks. But thank God it's not, right? Look at the bright side, everybody. We didn't get World War III. That's good. And you didn't make you didn't hit your limit orders. So I guess Silver linings. Just kidding. Of course, it's awesome. Jupiter says, all these late Bitcoin treasury companies will be selling their Bitcoins to Sailor when they go under in the next bear. I think some of these companies, like, let's be honest, and even Michael Saylor has said it, MicroStrategy was struggling. And he even said it in an interview with Natalie Brunell. He said, I did everything I possibly could. I beat my head against the wall. I worked my fingers to the bone, and I could not move the needle for MicroStrategy to where I wanted it to go. And he goes, I did everything for 2 decades. He says, and it wasn't until I discovered Bitcoin and put it on the balance sheet that everything started to really take off. So I think with some of these companies, like GameStop, for example, who the heck is, I'm not a big gamer. Is anybody using GameStop like all the time and it's just the most awesome place ever? Or is it just a good idea that they put Bitcoin on the balance sheet? Now, Metaplanet is a different story. Metaplanet in Japan, of course, they're actually, hotel and hospitality service, and they actually do quite well. To put it on there, I think it will actually grow. The thing that I think about is, do all these companies realize that, what happens when we have a major drawdown? Because it's happened in 4-year cycles. People are talking about a super cycle. I heard that too. Oh, in 2017, I heard that. 2021, I heard that. And I heard it in 2025. Crazy. We'll see what happens. But my big question is, can those companies hold on when everything crashes? I mean, if you look at the high in 2013 to the low in 2014, that was an 87% drawdown, 87%. When you look from 2017 to 2018, you were looking at 85%. And the last one from 2021 to 2022 was roughly, was that 77%? So let's just say we get a nice even 50% drop. I wonder if those companies can hold on to it. That's the big question. Thanks. Okay. Yeah, it's fun times. Always good to talk to James. I mean, we go back to 2020. Shoot, 5 years. I've never met James in real life. James could be a towering basketball player, or I don't know what he looks like. I know what he looks like. I just don't know anything else. I never met him in person. I've met Guy in person twice. I met Ben in person twice. I met Tommy Crown, Randy Hipper, a whole host of people, mostly at the Bitcoin conferences. Fun times, but never met James. I think he exists. I don't think he's an AI guy, but who knows? Rob, if you were in your mid-30s and had no real estate, would you start accumulating or just stick to Bitcoin? This is the thing. This is the thing I struggle with as far as with Bitcoin and cash flow. There is no cash flow with Bitcoin. There's none. And people will say, just do a loan. I did a loan. I did it with a company called Celsius, and it was an absolute disaster. Also, I did it too late. Could I have done that loan and only taken 5%, 10% out? Yeah, probably. Probably would have done a lot better. But those margin calls will kill you. And then talking to Simon Dixon about it, did a video on this a couple of weeks ago. Check out that video. Digital Asset News, Simon Dixon, Bitcoin loans. It just still makes me very weary about taking out loans right now, maybe in the future. But as far as cash flow, difficult. So for me, that's one of the reasons why I like real estate, because if you're doing short-term or long-term rentals or even a flip, there is cash flow there. Just depends on the numbers. So if I was in my 30s, I know some people will say, well, don't own your home, just rent everything. I get it. I get why maintenance, taxes, upkeep, headaches, problems. I get all that. But again, it's an asset and you got to live somewhere. I do like that aspect. If there was just some place where you didn't have to pay taxes on your house that you own until you are 6 feet under, that'd be a different story. But I still say I like the feeling of owning my own properties. It just takes the load off. And if you want to live long, stress is a big indicator. Drop your cortisol levels and do a lot better. So for me, if I was in my 30s, I'd still want to buy a house. I can't change myself. I know it. Let's see. Study and save. Just notice your life. I am. We are here, all of us. DCAing should have been finished in 2022. Now is the time for DCAing out. Kranskinator calls it. See what happens. Hello, Rob. Day says, Rob, assuming the top is late this year, is there any point in staking now? Why not? Here's a question for you. Why not? Why not stake? Especially if you're using Ledger or your TANGEM wallet or whatever cold storage device that you have. I'm not talking about keeping on exchanges and letting them collapse like the FTX Celsius Voyagers did. I'm talking about taking off, putting in cold storage and staking it. Seems reasonable, right? And especially when they don't have major cooldown periods like Polkadot. Like Cardano is the best. Sorry. For staking, Cardano is the best. It's almost, you are essentially liquid staking. You can put it in, take it out that next minute if you want to. Put it in, take it out in 5 years. There's no cooldown periods. Just do whatever you want with it. You just don't get rewards. Solana is a pretty good option. What about Tron? I do that on my TANGEM wallet. Works out pretty well. Aether, the great one. Minutes Network token. I do all those things. And when I had, well, I still have Bonk, but I just unstaked it about a month ago. So for me, I'm just like, why not? Especially if it's in my cold storage device. Let's see. Nothing. Unrealized gains. Meme career. Ben is not just scheduling his Forbes interview. Just wait. He will be doing it. That's dangerous, meme. It's dangerous. Who were the last people on Forbes? It was that Serranos lady like this. The one that was a complete fraudster. Sam Bankman-Fried. Let's not forget him. Gosh, whole host of losers. So hopefully Ben doesn't fall victim to that. It's a good one. Hounds TV. Rob, you brought up a Zoom type scam where wallets got hacked and drained. I have to two-factor mobile code before any crypto moves out. Did the victims not have a two-factor or the hack beats it? I don't know about if you have a two-factor authentication on your, what happened was, to get into the story, we covered this about a week ago or so, maybe 5 days. Kid who's been in crypto for 7 years, not a noob, young guy, not old, everything was good mentally, right? Telegram gets hacked, his friend's account, his friend contacts him, hey, we got to catch up because we're doing that thing, that whatever investment that they're doing. That's right, we are. Let's meet. Here's the Zoom call. Clicks on the Zoom call. There's his friend, and his other friend looks just like it, right? Apparently this may be AI generated or an old video, who knows? And he says, hey, we can't hear you, types it in. We can't hear you, update your Zoom. Updates the Zoom. All his hot wallets are drained. Genius, though, as he is, he put a big chunk of his life savings in these hot wallets because he likes to trade. Again, do less, make more. Stop doing that. So when that happened, they were talking to him like it was no big deal. And then when he left, he checked his wallet. He's like, hey, everything's gone. That's weird. That's how it happens. So if it's two-factor authentication, I think you would probably be safer in that situation, but I'm not for sure. What makes sense though, right? Two-factor authentication. Although, and this is where, if you're new to my channel and you're here, welcome. My name is Rob, and I'm paranoid. And because of that, I would still say don't use your hot wallets for any kind of like major amounts of funds that you want to have. Just take it off. Put it in your cold storage device and just put it away someplace. And that's pretty much about it. Could your Google Authenticator be hacked? Funny enough, yes. A friend of mine, Puerto Rico, lost his entire life savings. What do? They hacked his Gmail account. Did you know if you look into your Gmail account, you can do it right now. Under your settings, there is a part for your two-factor authenticator, and it says, do you need to generate more codes in an emergency? Or something like that. I did a whole post on this one. Just do a quick Perplexity or a ChatGPT query on this. It goes in there. If they have access to your Gmail account, they can generate those codes, take those codes, and use a two-factor authenticator. Bing, bang, boom, you're drained. Sucks, right? If it was easy, everybody would do it. And that's why you guys are the heroes for investing into digital assets, because you are the ones that have a big, fat bullseye on your back because all the hackers that are out there. Hackers. So good luck. Pull back tomorrow? Probably. Plumbing equals 3 trips to Home Depot. Exactly. Then asking, and then trying to find somebody at Home Depot. Hey, I'm looking for an end cap for 3/4-inch tubing. You got that? Yeah, that type of stuff. DCA grip. Thanks, man. Thanks for coming. I'm from Australia. Moved to Thailand. Better lifestyle. Go XRP. Yeah, my friend Brandon well, he was in Thailand because of the capital gains, and they said they were going to do it, and they didn't do it. And then they just reversed that. I guess now there's no capital gains through 2028, I think. Crazy. Now I think he's in Turkey or something. But yeah, it's really great when you can go. So congratulations, Troy Crypto. You made a great choice in Thailand. Cost of living is low. People out here are fantastic. Great food and no capital gains. I think we should all be so lucky. My kids are mad gamers and never want to go to GameStop. Exactly. I don't think GameStop is a hugely big, huge, viable company like it was to. Your video looks like crap. Daniel, it must be bad because Daniel never lies to me. So, if I do this now, this, hold on. No, still doesn't work. Well, at least the audio is awesome. It's a liquidity grab. Very true. Don't forget that the like. AMS says, no way does it hit 100K. News comes out and then goes right at the pocket at 105. Yeah, that could be it. 3 Arrows Capital will have his day. Those two scamsters, if anybody needs to go to jail, it's those guys. James is good peoples. He is. Video's a bit blurry. Man, could be the boomerangs. Now, if it's probably both of you, then it's not the greatest. It would be because sun comes through here, and usually I have that open, but it's too bright today. Oh, well. Glad to see the live stream. Stupid layout governments. Your internet is struggling too. Oh, that could be what it is. Meme I know is in Puerto Rico. Well, actually, no. I think you may be in the States now, so maybe not. Bitcoin is better than human trafficking and drug selling. True. I don't think we could ever disagree with that. Yeah. James doesn't like to go to meetups because he's worried about bad actors. Tired of the game. I don't blame him. I don't blame him either. I'm tired of that myself. You know, this is why I'll show you. For those who aren't familiar, we talk about diversification of funds, do we not? Many a time. But have we talked about, or are you familiar with diversification of storage, diversification of your digital assets? And this is how I arrange things. It was very, because I was getting tired of the wrench attacks, the kidnappings, essentially the scams and the hacks. I said, you know what? I can't just have it all in one TANGEM or one ledger. That's stupid. So I bought multiple ledgers, a bunch of TANGEM cards, and then I put a good chunk into iTRUST Capital, which they have ROTH IRAs, but they also have custody service, custodial services. And people will say, well, not your keys, not your crypto. True, but here's the thing. If I get wrench attack and they beat the tar out of me, could happen. At least they're not getting that piece because there are checks and balances on there. Also, they use Coinbase Prime, which is the same custody service that MicroStrategy and BlackRock uses. So I'm a pretty good company. At least I got, you know, X percentage of my holdings after I get out of the hospital. Just saying. I fully expect that to happen too. So there it is. I just want to have something. Let's see. Armand says, why did all the people keep comparing Bitcoin to previous cycles? Don't you think it's way different with the influx of so many different channels of money's coming in, so different than previous cycles? Could be. But again, from 2013 to 2017, I heard the same thing. Well, this is way different. Because, you know, you have Wall Street involved, and there's going to be a futures Bitcoin, and that's going to bring legitimacy. And you know what they did with the futures contracts? They shorted the hell out of it, and then it collapsed in 2018. Fast forward 2021. This is different. El Salvador's here, sovereign wealth funds. I mean, there's this guy named Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy. He put it on his balance sheet for Pete's sakes. ETFs are right around the corner. It's different this time, right? 2022, everything collapses again. Here we are in 2025. It's different, Rob. You got the President of the United States, government's behind us. You've got sovereign wealth funds, even more businesses. So this is different, right? I'll believe it when I see it. That's all I can say. I can make it very simple for you. Just buy and hold, and you don't have to really think about it. If it's not, well, great, and I held on to it. And if it is, well, great, then I can sell some and I can layer out. I will tell everybody this. There's a link in the description. It's called When I'm going to Sell 50 to 80% of All My Crypto, and I'm taking a look at all the different indicators. Once that hits, I laddered in, I'm going to ladder out, and I'm not going to be like a surprise like a year later. I'm going to come on the show and say, hey, guess what? I sold this and this and this. I sold this percentage. And once I get to this threshold point of 50 or 80%, I'm stepping down from this channel. Good luck to everybody. Have a great time. I'll see you in the next bear market. That's that. Let's see. Rob, Bitcoin, the coins like privacy, Puto. Depends on mining a lot. Why isn't the Cryptoverse talking about how much harder it's become to mine? It's a good question. And this is why I appreciate all of you in the chats. You guys bring up subjects I don't even really think about. This is why I feel like I have some of the smartest people, and I appreciate you. So on this one, it's harder to mine. And we even talked about this today on the DCA live show about the hash rate had actually decreased. There was a hypothesis, there was an opine that perhaps it was because Iran got bombed and it disrupted their energy grid, and there was Bitcoin mining going on. So there was like a 3 to 4% drop in a 48-hour time frame. As far as like mining difficulty, it's very difficult for you guys to compete against the big guys, obviously, right? The difficulty adjustment and things like that. That'd be something to get a miner on to talk about that. Because I'll tell you what I know, what I don't know. Mining is not my forte. It's just not. Let's see. Oh, no ceasefire according to Iran's Mayor News. Ooh, it's getting big. Let's see what happens. Easy to stay catered because it doesn't have to go anywhere. Get locked. Very true meme. What's a super cycle? It's a good question, Matt. Super cycle means nothing ever goes down. Just going to keep, we'll have minor pullbacks, but it'll just keep going up to infinity and beyond. That's a super cycle. I also heard about this, a commodity super cycle 3 or 4 years ago. Actually, commodities did kind of play out in a certain way, yeah. So with this one, super cycle means that Bitcoin will just be like everything else, like the S&P 500. We won't have a major drawdown of 86 or 77% or even 50%. It'll just drop 5, 10, maybe 15% and keep going up. And that'll be the super cycle as it never goes down. I will remind you that we also had, someone was calling for a meme super cycle. Don't know if that worked out for him, but sure. ADA rates are hella low, 2 to 4%. True, but it's actually a little bit better because it's not so inflationary. Something to think about. Cardano's the best. I'm clipping that. Well, yeah, I do like Cardano, but I like a lot of altcoins. I like Ethereum. It just gets battered and it's old tech and stuff like that. But it's not like institutions really, or banking infrastructure really has banked on the best and fastest. Just take a look at Swift over the last 50 years. So I look at Cardano or Ethereum as maybe just a settlement layer. Then we have layer 2 solutions, which maybe. But then some people will say, well, what about Binance Chain? Well, it's probably pretty great. It's not, I think it's like, there's like one PC that hides under CZ's bed, and that's the whole infrastructure. I don't think it's very decentralized. But it doesn't matter because numbers go up, right? Some people don't care about that. And then, of course, Solana, great one, especially when we take a look at stable coins. Tron, I know if you're an American, you're like, that makes no sense. There's a reason why it's in the top 10. We've talked about this many a time. And some of the other layer 2 solutions. And, of course, Cardano could be the sleeper, especially as it starts to be a layer 2 on Bitcoin. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. Why so bad? Theranos, that's what, Theranos. Love says, Rob, do you use a YubiKey? Funny story, a YubiKey. I just ordered one yesterday. I ordered 2. And they're supposed to be delivered to me, I think, the end of this week. So I'll do a little video on that. Apparently, I'm not paranoid enough. Cardano's job is to disappoint. I'm going to clip that. That's pretty funny. I use YubiKey, must have. Don't like Trump, but great job, President Trump. That's it. Thanks. Hey, Dan. I remember that stream. Yeah. Thanks for the tangent code. You're welcome, man. Yeah, I got to talk to James about that because he had a YubiKey and he still got hacked on one of his social media accounts. I want to say it was X. Let's see, 320, adjust the rabbit ears. Man, Matt, you are old as dirt if you're talking about rabbit ears. And you know why? Because I'm old too. And I remember that. It was awesome. Listen or watch. Yeah, exactly. What else we got? 30 days here. The only EOS whale left. If you guys know this project called EOS, it's going to be massive. It's going to be huge. I'm just kidding. It's trash. And it was something that me and Beardy got into a long time ago that we probably shouldn't have. Let's see. It is a sleeper, all right. I hear good things. I'll let you guys know. Perfect way to lead it. 35 minutes. This is a good time to get out. Nobody ever went broke taking profits. Again, as you can see, I have these rules underneath here. Rule number 1, it's all gone. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose. Next one, 100% scams. Everything's a scam until proven otherwise. 0% exchanges, the only things in exchanges, use a cold storage device like a TANGEM, like a Ledger, or let somebody else custody it for you, like I do with iTRUST. Don't use leverage. All right, a 5X is not going to kill you. And take profits, because nobody went broke taking profits. That's it for today. So look, everybody, thanks for hanging out with me for 36 minutes. That was pretty great. I appreciate you. If you like today's video, thumbs up, subscribe, and let's see if this ceasefire sticks. I'm feeling pretty good about the market. Hope you are too. See you on the next one. Adios.